Donald Trump and Elon Musk are working together on a project to cut overseas expenses and make better use of American taxpayers' money. This has put the future of US government's main overseas aid agency in doubt. Employees are being fired and Trump administration wants to merge it with the US Department of State. On February 24th, Trump administration announced that over 1,600 employees at the USAID are being fired and several other staffers of the agency working outside the United States have been placed on paid administrative leave. The email to the employees read, "I regret to inform you that you are affected by reduction in force action." The only employees working are the leaders and critical staff at the agency. So what is the USAID and why does Trump want to end it? Let's understand. USAID, or United States Agency for International Development, was set up in early 1960s to administer humanitarian aid programs on behalf of the US government. It is the largest spender of aid in several countries. It employs around 10,000 people and 2/3 of them work overseas as per reports. While the agency has bases in 60 countries, most of the work on ground is done by other agencies funded by the USAID. It is a critical tool of US soft power for winning influence abroad. What does it do? Well, a lot, and it spends a lot too. Most of its budget is spent on health programs like offering polio vaccines in countries where the disease is still circulating. In 2023, the US spent $68 billion on international aid, and USAID's budget was around $40 billion of the $68 billion spent. This is about 0.6% of US government spending of $6.7 trillion. Now, why does Trump want to end it? After returning to office, Trump signed an executive order that put almost all international spending on pause for a 90-day review. He said that USAID wastes money and is run by radical lunatics. Waivers were later issued for humanitarian programs, but all aids are not for a cause, is what the Trump administration is saying. USAID has a sketchy side to it too that has stirred unrest and violence in many countries, it said. As per a document, USAID funded $500,000 to solve violence in Israel just 10 days before October 7, 2023 attack that killed at least 1,200 people. It also gives $5 million to EcoHealth Alliance, one of the key NGOs funding bat virus research in the Wuhan lab. In recent years, the agency was reportedly helping fund terrorist organizations and Chinese groups. Trump's report said that at least $10 million worth of USAID's funded meals were sent to an Al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group. Reports also suggest that USAID gave $110,000 to charity linked to a front group of Lashkar-e-Taiba. In 2010, USAID created a Cuban Twitter named Zunzonio, a social media app in order to spur Cubans to stand against their government, as per an AP report. In Bolivia, USAID funded opposition leaders to destabilize its then president. In 2013, Bolivia expelled USAID from the country. In Peru, it was accused of funding its forced sterilization drive in 1990s. Many other countries have reported USAID of meddling. The White House published a report containing examples of more waste and abuse by the USAID, like funds for transgender comic book in Peru, transgender opera in Colombia, production of DEI musical in Ireland, tourism in Egypt, and more. Some false information was also spread. For example, Musk shared a false video promoting debunked claim that USAID paid for Hollywood stars to visit Ukraine. Doge shared that $21 million was given to India for voter turnout, which Finance Ministry has claimed that never happened. The government has not received such funds, it said, and gave a clarification and a data of how much US aid has been given to the government for what project. The Indian government says that it is looking into the matter and it is very concerning too. DOGE also said that it would cut $29 million for Bangladesh to strengthen political landscape, which Bangladesh government said that it was not seen in their records. The NGO Affairs Bureau said that the funds must have bypassed the government channels. Now coming back to ending US aid, can Trump actually do it? US aid was created via Congress's Foreign Assistance Act in 1961. The law mandates the government agency to be set up and tasked with administering overseas spending. It was created via an executive order by then President John F. Kennedy. So Democrats say that Trump cannot simply abolish the US aid by signing an executive order, and any attempt to do so will have consequences like challenges in courts and Congress. Closing US aid altogether would likely require an act of Congress. Now, what will happen if US aid is closed? Well, US aid funds a lot of humanitarian projects ranging from providing prosthetic limbs to soldiers injured in Ukraine to cleaning landmines and containing the spread of Ebola in Africa. It also has been assisting countries that the US does not have diplomatic ties with, like Iran. If merged with the Department of State, its functioning is likely to change significantly, because then they will be answerable to all the funding that they do and have to give the reasoning of the funding to the government, while they are not answerable to anybody as of now. As per some experts, dismantling the US aid is illegal and it might have an impact on several countries. For more such news and views, keep watching ET Now.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.